Now, regarding the pre-Babylonian Hebraic beliefs on the personifications of light and dark and good and evil, by reviewing these, we should be able to establish that these beliefs pre-existed the Babylonian captivity. On the personification of light, God is most obviously this person in the Torah. He is the creator of light and separates the light from darkness. All life springs forth from God. And who stands in opposition to God? The serpent is God's enemy. The serpent is he who wishes death upon mankind. It is the serpent who introduces the first lie of deception recorded. It is very clear and obvious that the serpent is the personification of opposition to truth, and is the personification of that which is for the destruction of God's creation. We see here again this universal truth of a personification of good and evil as clearly evident in Hebraic thought long before the Babylonian captivity. Now, regarding the Messianic ideas in Judaism on universal salvation, the claim is made that prior to the Babylonian captivity, that Hebrew thought did not consider universal salvation an aspect of the role of a Messiah. However, this is not so. Hebrew thought has always viewed God's Messiahs as those who save them completely and universally from their enemies. We see this concept from the beginning of the Torah. Noah was a spiritual leader and saves all of his family from the flood. Abraham was a spiritual leader and saves all his family from Sodom and Gomorrah. Isaac was a spiritual leader and saves all his family from the famine in the land. Jacob, whose name became Israel, was a spiritual leader and saved all his family from the Canaanites and Perizzites. Joseph was a spiritual leader and saved all his family from the famine in the land. And Moses was a spiritual leader and saved all of the nation of Israel from the hand of the Egyptians. So the idea of saviors who universally save is most definitely a concept which pre-existed in Hebrew thought before the Babylonian captivity. Most notably, the Lord himself is the universal Savior who sends his anointed ones to save his people.